this same movie again. Windows and doors can't keep me in. I feel my heart underneath my skin. Stack up those dreams, won't let them go. Some way, somehow my day will come. This is my time, gonna light it up. Stepping out into the unknown. Stepping out, oh, stepping out to whatever's coming on. Stepping out, I'm a man on fire. Sounds crazy, but I never lose. Oh, you know I'm gonna give it all I got. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire, and my day is overdue. This burn is never gonna stop. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire. But back to the wall is how I live my life. I risk it all, put it on the line, then blow it up every single time. It's a big world, I'll take it in. If I don't try, how can I win? This chance might never come again. Stepping out into the unknown. Stepping out, oh, stepping out to whatever's coming on. Stepping out, I'm a man on fire. Sounds crazy, but I never lose. Oh, you know I'm gonna give it all I got. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire, and my day is overdue. This burn is never gonna stop. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire. Oh, 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 oh. I'm a man on fire. Oh, oh, oh. I'm a man on fire. Stepping out into the unknown. Stepping out. Oh, stepping out to whatever's coming on. Stepping out. I'm a man on fire. Sounds crazy, but I never lose. Oh, you know I'm gonna give it all I got. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire, and my day is overdue. This burn is never gonna stop. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire. I'm a man on fire.
Happy birthday, America! It's Friday, July 1st, 2022. I say happy birthday because it's one of those awesome birthdays for America where we kind of party a little longer. We got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk about all things going on this week. Chris and Mark, NWA Exchange Podcast. Let's get into this. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, how's it going?
I'm ready to kick it off with America, man. Happy birthday,
Yeah.
America.
Yeah,
245
absolutely,
years, man. We're young, though.
Oh.
It's a young country.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. There's
Hopefully
no doubt
we see
about
250. Hopefully.
that. I don't know the direction we're going, man. Who the hell
Yeah,
knows?
it could be over next week. We don't know, man. But you know what? We're going to still party down like it's 1999, as the song says. Tonight.
Oh, it's money home.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so, you know, a lot going on this weekend, obviously, with the celebrations and stuff.
Yeah.
Parades, family get-togethers, cookouts, lakes, just people trying to enjoy the freedom and the time off from the grind. I just hope people reflect, you know, the sacrifices that it took for us to make to 245 years as being a sovereign nation. So
Yeah.
I love America, man.
I agree, man.
We got
Much
problems,
appreciation.
right? But
Yeah, everybody's got problems, man. But this is the
Yeah.
best place in the world to
I
live,
wouldn't
man.
want to be anywhere else. That's for sure,
No.
man.
No, totally agree with you.
So tell me
So-
what's going on this week.
All right,
And
buddy. We
next
got
week.
we have the fireworks 2022 Independence Day fireworks here in Bella Vista, July 3rd, 9 p.m. Loch Lomond. For people aren't familiar, it's over by the dam. That'll start. I think it'll start kicking off about 9:30. I'd get there earlier. The park over there where the baseball diamond is, probably get over there about 7:30. Get your parking spot. You can drive right in there. We'll just park everybody. So
Is this which one are you talking about at the moment?
I'm
You
talking about
Bella Vista.
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Loch Lomond. I don't think we have a slide on
For
that. one.
Glasgow is the one I was referring to.
Okay.
Yeah, right on the backside of the dam where they shoot the fireworks.
Ah, here we go. Bella Vista,
Yeah.
right there. Yep.
Yeah.
looks
So
And they got the parade on the 4th of July as well.
yeah. So it'll be a good time. There's a lot of festivities in this area. I could tell the difference with the traffic, Chris, coming tonight. So I think a lot of people were, booking up their Airbnbs now and getting settled in with friends and family.
We go
for-
on them travel trips, man, them camping trips and everything else.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how much kayaking there's going to be. I looked at the water levels down in Sugar Creek, man, and they were really, really low. But it's been bone dry for the last, 15, 16 days. I haven't
Yeah.
seen any rain, man.
Yeah, I had, I don't know. I mean, the float season is kind of short. This
Yeah.
I would say this year was kind of long because we had that that heavy week of rain and like we didn't really get the super temperatures until last week, week
Yeah.
before. So, but definitely the lakes and the rivers they're starting to get down to lower levels and stuff. Beaver Lake's still kind of doing pretty good. I think people are still kind of concerned going under that 112 bridge out on the lake out there.
Yeah.
So
Well, to back up what you just said, I mean, there's no burn ban yet, man. That tells you how much rain we had prior to that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd say we had a good 15, 20 days of no rain,
Well, I saw a post from the city though talking about you can only pop up fireworks. What was it? The second? Was it July? Was it the second or the third? Third and fifth.
think-
Maybe it was the third
Yeah.
and fifth.
Yeah.
What a buzzkill, right? I mean, like, hey,
Nobody ever follows
you know,
that, though, man.
whatever, man. And if there's a burn ban, you can't. Like, no, look, bro. Look, bro.
It's once a year, man. You got to enjoy it.
I'm
And,
surprised I haven't seen too many posts on some of the
I
the
saw
social
your
media
post.
groups.
I wanted to tell you, man, I saw a post you put out and I was at the gym working out and I just bursted out laughing.
Which one was that?
The guy with the eye patch and only 3 fingers.
Oh yeah. Was it just pro tip, man? If you can find a guy with an eye patch and 3 fingers on his hand, he sells the best fireworks, man. That's a pro. That is a pro tip for buying fireworks. When you find that guy at a fireworks stand, man, just ask him for the good stuff that he keeps in the back. Okay.
I just started laughing, man. People are looking at me like, "What is this fruitcake, man?"
Yeah. Well, I mean, those guys got some. That's homemade stuff right there, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
His
For
name
sure.
is Tank. He's a former, explosive ordnance disposal expert from the military. That's the guy you want to be getting your fireworks from.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. So, along with the Bella Vista fireworks on Sunday night, we also have the parade taking place in Sugar Creek Plaza over there.
Allen's.
9
Let's just
o'clock.
call
in
it
the morning.
Allen's, right?
Yeah, Allen's. Okay.
Yeah.
Allen's Plaza.
Yeah, Allen's Plaza. We know everybody knows where Allen's Sugar Creek Plaza is. That way up the road?
Yeah, right.
Is that in
Yeah, that's
Missouri?
what. Yeah. So that'll be usually a great turnout. So if someone hasn't been there before, it's a good time and a good local parade. Everybody sets out up in front of the businesses out there, and I'll be out there with Hutchinson Realty, be other realtor companies and other businesses supporting it. So it'll be a good time. So come on out.
Yeah, we always go. I did get it was I believe it was Lisa reached out to me from the Vets Council they're gonna have a booth there on Monday. Maybe we can actually try to do an interview with them, or coordinate an interview with them, because they've made some changes within the Vets Council, and obviously they had a groundbreaking ceremony for Phase 2 of the Vets Memorial build a couple months back. I think Punxsutawney Phil showed up to that one. Anyhow. So they've wrote the check. The construction's going to be starting soon, and they also got a booklet for kids to learn about historical moments depicted on flags at the Wall of Honor. And
Awesome.
they're also developing a design a flag contest for kids to use on field trips and tours. And so, I think it might be worth the time for people to stop and talk with the Vets Council people and find, it's good educationally for children to understand what vets are. I know my son, obviously I'm a veteran, but and his, grandfather and his great grandfather were all veterans, right?
Yeah.
So he understands what veterans are. But some kids, they don't have that knowledge of history and the important roles that every veteran has played for this nation, to make it to 245 years old. So I think if you are there, make sure you show up a little early or stay a little late and talk with the Vets Council. I've met so many people from that organization. They're all sweet, awesome people, so stop by.
I'm going to definitely do that, Chris. Bella Vista's huge supporters of veterans. That there's a lot of veterans that live up here, and we do a lot of things for them, and we really, really, truly appreciate everything they've done and sacrificed. So looking forward to it. Hey, Bentonville, we talked about it last week.
Mm-hmm.
Orchards Park, another great place to go to see the fireworks. Orchard Park, Monday, July 4th. Festivities start at 7:00. Now that gets pretty crazy, so you might want to get there.
I'm trying to think, where's Orchards Park at?
It's over by if you go where Crystal Bridges is in the park. That's
across the street from there.
Yeah. Well, it's on the same side, but it's further down, right there.
Okay.
That whole area is Orchards Park. So that they have all kinds of things going on there, but it gets really, really busy. So you got to get out there. Probably, I'd say 2 hours. We used to bring drinks and some food and what have you, and just get some lawn chairs and set up right on the side of the road, man.
Just ride a one wheel out there.
Yeah.
I rode out there last week.
Yeah, if people are new to the area, that's a great fireworks to go to the night before you can hit Bella Vista, and the morning you can hit the parade, and that night you can hit Bentonville.
Yeah, so lots of opportunities for fireworks around Northwest Arkansas. We did have that link up. Again, we talked about this last week. Beaver Lake, July 3rd. Bella Vista, July 3rd. Bentonville, the 4th. Elkins, July 1st. That's tonight. Some people even went, P. Ridge did it last weekend and stuff. I saw a local photographer, Douglas Keck.
Oh, yeah, Doug Keck.
He was out there last weekend.
Out there, man.
He's like, I gotta get my fireworks fixed, man. So,
Yeah, he was waiting for someone to join him. He had some beautiful pictures he had taken that he had posted. He does a good job.
I learned a lot from him, man, when I was in the photography club. We linked up. He was flying my drone at a fireworks show, believe it or not. And I had the camera out there, and it was just hitting the shutter release while the drone was doing its thing. And but he was kind of giving me some tips and stuff. And that's why I got involved with the photography club.
Yeah, he does some great pictures. There's a lot of talented guys in that group, man. I follow a lot of them, and there's some really beautiful pictures. I love the wildlife pictures, man.
It's a good group if you're interested in learning. I mean, this. Your son's been to several meetings and stuff.
Yeah, he enjoys it.
It's a good group if you're interested in understanding photography or learning or just improving on photography. It's a good group to get involved with. It really is.
Yeah, and the individuals that are involved with that are really they love it. They just absolutely love it. You can see it in their work. You can see the time that they put into it, and I just wish more younger people get involved with that. It's tough. But
there's a club for everything in Bella Vista, man. I'm sure there's a club about griping about the POA. I'm sure there is. There's a club for everything, man.
You're right, man. There's like 100 clubs. And if you can't find that club, you can
always make your own.
So. Yeah, yeah. So hey, I saw this before, and I always see people that are on a fixed budget, people that are in Social Security, and what have you. They have the pet vet at the Tractor Supply Saturday in Bentonville, 2817 South Walton Boulevard from 4 to 5:30. They take care of a lot of stuff there. I mean, I'm telling you not to bring your dog in if he's missing a leg, obviously.
Oh, lefty,
but
man.
minor things. You know, some medicines or maybe
Shots,
a tick.
stuff like that.
Shots, inoculate. Yeah, I mean, any number of things like that. I mean, obviously, if it's life and death, they're not going to be taking triage there. So
That's good.
but it's always nice that they do that.
Yeah, down in the country, down south in the Altus and Ozark area, that's the way that we get them old farm dogs done up, man. Is that that local vet would show up to the co-op, and everybody would roll in with them dogs hanging out in the back of the truck and stuff, and they'd give them their shots, check on them, prescribe them whatever they needed, deworm them. Very low cost and efficient and effective way to make sure that I mean, everybody gonna own an animal, out in the country and stuff. But some of the animals, they're like, I can remember when I was younger, and so I was like, "Oh, these poor dogs." I'm like, "What do you mean? These are country dogs." That one got shot by some salt rock over there. He'll be fine. He'll walk it off. I mean, this one got ran over by a tractor last week. They're just country dogs, though. People are like, "Oh, it's so bad." It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. City dogs, city dog lover. I mean, but country dogs are tough, man. I mean, they really are. Like they're dogs that you don't want to mess around. I remember I was kid, man, riding out at grandma's on my bicycle and stuff. And there was this one house, and there was like, I don't know, there were some pugs, this mean little a-hole chihuahua, and then there was this big old, I mean, it looked like Cujo, man, and I'd be riding my bike, and then I get next, I mean, I turned the bend, man, and then there was this house where all these dogs would be up on the front porch, and got a little downhill, so you just gotta start pedaling your life off. I was probably like 7 or 8, just pedaling as hard as I could. Just, gotta get past it. And then when I get right in front of that house, I'm hauling, man, and them dogs come tearing off of the porch, man. You gotta get about 1/8 of a mile away from them before they give up, too. Right? But I mean, them country dogs, man. You don't mess with. You be a city boy coming in and riding around in the country out there. You a dumbass, man. But I never said I was a smart kid either. But you know what, man? I mean, the country dog, one of them, man, he almost got my leg, man. I was like riding with one leg up. I ended up kicking him, man. Just like chomping at my legs, man. Country. So that's why it's important to show up to these things. If you ain't got the means to go to a veterinarian, go to the pet vet. Do like a Tractor Supply, a co-op, whatever, man. Make sure you got them shots for your dogs, because you don't want that little 8-year-old kid riding his bike on them country roads and getting bit by your crazy ass country dog.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So
sorry, that was a little long story. My bad.
No, that's okay. Hey, Sandfest 2022, Avalon Beach. Yeah, for kids out there. So that's going to be July 4th. Opens at 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. The beach, the contests are going to run from 11:30 to 2:30. So
nice.
Best Sandcastle contest. 3 age groups. You got 6 years and under. No parents help. 7 to 13 and 14 years to adult. The adults can get involved there. A rubber ducky roundup for ages 5 and under, and a limbo contest for kids adult. So,
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick.
So if you got kids and they're bored out of their mind, get them down there.
Dollar ice cream specials while supplies last too. Man, I think that's the temperature supposed to be like on Monday. I think so. It was toasty today, brother.
Yeah,
it got up. Yeah,
it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit
Monday, 95, man.
Yeah,
woo.
Yeah.
You better take advantage of them dollar ice cream specials.
Yeah,
out there.
Yeah,
that's a good deal, man.
I don't even know. Can you bring beer? Can you bring beer out there on the beach? I don't even know.
I just use the rule, ask for forgiveness.
Or wrap it in tinfoil, right?
I just throw it in the old Yeti, man. So
yeah, there you go.
Happy birthday, America Yeti.
Yeah. So along with the Sandfest, we got baseball, man. Arkansas Naturals, we talked about before. Arvis Park, Monday, 4th of July, 6:35 p.m. They're playing the Tulsa Drillers. So if you want to go out and see some baseball, it's out there. Nice. They also have fireworks, like you said. So it's a good time if you haven't been out there.
Yeah, I like it out there. I mean, it's a nice baseball field.
Yeah, it is.
Nice complex. I mean, it's cheap too, man. I mean, it's like it's not expensive. Like you want to take your young children to like let them experience a baseball game, like where the announcers playing the music
Yeah.
and I mean,
It
it's
is a
just
good time.
it's a good time, man. It really is.
Yeah, I wish that was a little closer to us. I wish we had a team up here. It would be awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'd go all the time,
Well, maybe we'll get a pro football team. Maybe the Denver Broncos will move here, man. I don't know. It's anything's. It's 2022, brother. Anything is possible. Okay, I'm just saying. Just
the Bella Vista
hold your
Broncos.
horses. We may have the Denver. They may be the Bentonville Browns or something, or the Bentonville Bears. I don't know.
Hey,
You know.
you never know, man.
The Walton Wombats. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, man. Wolverine sounds better than Wombats. Just saying. If one of them Walton boys is listening, just saying, Wolverine sounds a lot better than Wombats.
Yeah, it does, man. So, July Artist of the Month reception coming up Thursday, July 21st at 5 o'clock. Again, I got to make it like 6, man. 5 o'clock's cutting it tight for people.
7:30 p.m. It's still 7:30, but I mean, you will miss all
You're
of
coming
it.
in. Yeah, you're coming in. They've already given the word out and had conversations. So
Show
it is
up
what
like
it
Cousin
is.
Eddie, man. Hey, Clark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 2 hours later.
Bella Vista, it's in the Bella Vista Public Library. So right off exit 98 there, you can't miss on the left. Go back there. And
11
So you-
Dickens Place.
so last week, we got into it, man. The short-term rentals, I was able to get out there. I know you were busy with work and you had other things going on. So, man, it was just absolutely gangbusters out there, man.
Yeah.
Like you said it, you called it. The masses, they came out in droves. They responded to it. I mean, I had a lot of conversation with people there, and they let their voices be heard, man. You know?
Well, the one
So-
thing that I just want to say, awesome job, Bella Vistans. Really, I mean, it doesn't matter what side of the issue you're on, right? And that's called participating in the civic process, right? Petitioning your government, airing your grievances, letting them know you're not cool with something, or letting them know this is my opinion on how you guys have gone off the rails, right? Everybody can do it respectfully, but I'm sorry. Half of the politicians in this country are doing the same thing, but half of the politicians, I would say 3/4 of the politicians, they're going to talk to people that actually engage with them.
Right.
But that's why it's important to not be scared. I watched that on the, I tried to, I'm going a little segue over here, so just like bear with me on my little rant, okay?
Yeah.
So I've been saying this for years now, that our city needs to modernize their system and allow people to be able to provide input via a Zoom session. But it's bad enough whenever I'm watching this. One, I'm having to watch it on our faithful Kevin Dooley's channel because I went to watch it on Bella Vista Community Television. And this is days later, too. I was actually doing prep work trying to get it pulled up for the podcast.
Right.
And lo and behold, a controversial subject, and it's not on Bella Vista Community Television's channel. But 11 hours ago, they posted some other crap, right? It's like, there's no consistency. There's no consistency. Like, the only consistency that we have in this community with actually airing out these type of public hearings or public sessions or work sessions, being able to try to stay engaged in what's going on in the city is having to rely on Kevin Dooley. I'm not saying that and 100%, I love what Kevin's doing because he's filling that void.
Right.
But heaven forbid Kevin's out of town. It's something big like this, or Dollar General, or Stump Dump 2.0,
Right.
whatever you want to, whatever situation's a hot button topic. Then people don't have the ability to really get engaged with that because, one, we have the silencing of groups in social media. Thou shalt not talk about this, right? Or I'm all pro this, and if you say anything against it, you're not allowed to, even ask questions. So
Right.
why hasn't the city taken any of this money that was put together for cities to modernize and actually be prepared for the next pandemic, right? As Joe Biden says. The next one,
September. The one,
right,
in
the
September,
one that's
you mean?
around the corner, either, you know,
Second hippie
Omicron
Florida.
2.0 or monkeypox or baboonitis or whatever. I don't know. I mean, like, these people come up with something else, man. You know, like every week it's something different. I find it, you know, why is our community television channel not publishing controversial things? Happened during the Stump Dome, right?
Yeah.
We had technical difficulty. That's freaking convenient. That's about as convenient as CCTV cameras not working when Epstein's offing himself, right? I mean, it's very freaking convenient that, you know, it's a hot button topic. You don't want to see how people smack somebody around at this. I mean, because that's what I got when I watched it. There's a lot of people that came in there making very valid points. That one lady who had the septic that was, you know, the records for the septic were burned, you know, in a fire. So it would cost her thousands of dollars to actually get her septic system mapped out just so she could comply with this asinine code that, you know, Fowler came up with and didn't consult any other person on the city council. Yeah. Consulted an outside. I mean, I want to know how much money. Here's the question I have. And this question should be answered. I want to know how much money they paid the outside consulting firm for tourism and promotion, right, to come up with this bullcrap money grab legislation. I want to know how much of my taxpayer money is going to them, right, to subsidize basically local politicians, not being able to sit down and say, what can we come up with to get, like, troubleshooting 101, brainstorming, right? Draw the circle. This is the goal. This is stuff I would like. This is stuff you would like. This is stuff the resident would like. Put it all out there and then say, what fits in the bubble? It makes sense, right?
Yeah. So the promotional monies and what have you, I believe I remember reading it was 2% for Airbnbs, hotel, whatever, any kind of living area or living place, Airbnb, VRBO, they get the 2%, the city does. Yep. And 1% would be going towards restaurants and stuff like that they would get. So a total of 3% is what they would get, that they'd take and put it through for advertising, promotion. But yeah, there's nothing. I can't find anything on it.
But here, it goes back to this, right? Did they pay the advertising and tourism promotion to come up with legislation for the city? That's misappropriation of funds that Fowler basically did. Right? Well, that's not tourism. You're talking about short-term rentals, but you're actually talking about enacting city code. That should go through our politicians. You can author it. Our politicians should have input on it before the Monday before city council, and it should be vetted by our city attorney. One would think that those things would have happened, but according to one of our good friends in the city council, that stuff didn't happen. This stuff just showed up, put together by one individual who didn't even show up to the city council meeting. I heard he was sick. I don't know. Probably had a case of the shits because, he knew that it was shitty. It was, I don't know. Bubble guts, maybe?
Yeah. It's always something. Hey, I worked for 25 years. I don't think I ever made a sick day in my life, but that's just me, dude. I just grind it out.
Oh, if I have a sick day, I have a legitimate sick day, but if I have a big meeting, man, I'll show up. Man, look, especially in these times, man, hey, would have been nice. Maybe we could have had that Zoom system working and he could have came in via Zoom,
Right.
And participated.
Well, that's what I tried to I think that's the other thing. They're so overwhelmed. People were so prepared. I'm proud of people that they came out in masses like that. There was a lot. I would say it was well over 100, man.
That's good.
By the time I got in there and I started talking, I talked to a gentleman by the name of Bryce Cole. I talked to him for a few minutes, a gal and a few other people, and they had their notes. They were ready. They were ready to go to battle, man.
Dude, so many people made valid points. I like the one guy who's basically like, you guys don't even have the resources to. It's what I say. It's exactly what I say. Like, he brought up the fact that somebody was shooting off fireworks, and they called the police, and the police didn't do anything about it, too.
Right.
Starting to say, there's that pattern of behavior again.
Yeah,
what the hell, man? There's a common theme going on here, man. There's a common theme. And I don't think, and this is, whenever I was called earlier this week, I was like, and I think, me personally, ain't nothing going to change. Nothing's going to change till we get a new mayor. And we got to have a mayor with a backbone willing to stand up and actually say, the gig is up, guys. Either you're going to start doing what you're supposed to do, and that's being representative of the people, public service for the people, right? And accountable to me, who is accountable to the people.
Right. So I had a bunch of questions. Chris, I had 4 or 5 questions. I was gonna write my name. By the time I got in there, I mean, there was 80, 90 people. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then the mayor came out and said it's basically discussion strictly for short-term rentals. So
he basically just said, what? No, that's
now I got to wait another month.
Yeah, now you got to wait another month, right?
Yeah, I got to wait another
month. Your
month.
email might go to junk email.
Yeah, so now after that, it's like, okay, I do understand the reasoning because we would never got through it, but 3 minutes is 3 minutes, no matter if I take 5. Man,
dude, these guys had a free pass for 2 years. Like they're out of there by like 6:15, man. So I don't want to. You got to stay till 9 o'clock. Public service, man. If you got to stay till, if it's past your bedtime, bro, then maybe you need to rethink your position and your age, because I mean, you're freaking you're not interested, or you're tired and you don't want to put up with people. People this is the only time that we get to air our. It's crappy we only get 3 minutes, but I don't give a dang if it's all of the whole population of Bella Vista in there up in arms. Right. You guys should. That's what they signed up for. And for them to say, we're going to put a cap on it. Because I heard some of the people say they showed up at like 5 till, or 6:25 or 6:23 or even 6:20, and the form was taken away already. The list was taken away. And then they have to go into the, like, well, can I get a motion to allow these additional people to speak? I mean,
I remember that.
Can you get an motion? Like, just let the people talk. I mean, they only get 3 minutes anyway. What's 6 to 10 more minutes out of your? Oh, I'm sorry. Is this hassling you?
Yeah.
Public service, right? Yeah. Some of them up there on the board get it though. Some of them up there on the city council get it. I see a stark difference whenever I look at. Like I could see. Boom. I mean, bing. There's a light. Bing. There's a light. Over here. Yeah, I mean, there's a light. But you can see the people who are genuinely like they want to engage. They want to be of service, and then you see the other. Like, I would say, there's a couple up there where I'm not too sure.
Yeah, there's
a couple up there.
Yeah, 98% of the people were very positive and said, "Listen, we want to be part of this community. We're willing to invest in it, but we need to find a happy medium." And that other 2% were the people that came in and sided with the city and the noise ordinances and all that, and different things. And unfortunately, you have a few bad apples, and that's stuff that needs to be addressed. But it's not like the septic issue has been going on for a year. Nobody's taken the initiative to get it done. Get on it, man. If you can't handle it, then get out of the job and find someone else.
Right.
I'm sick and tired of hearing the same old dog and pony show.
Let me check something. I'm not sure if I posted the right freaking link to our Facebook, buddy.
Oh.
I didn't send somebody to last week's podcast. Oops. No. You go ahead and keep on talking, brother. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Talking about
so the septic issue has been going on forever. We already knew where we stood with that. I mean, there was supposed to be an updated information on that. And I can't even locate it on the city sites,
Oh, I know.
So, yeah. I mean, of course, people are confused. You can shelve it till October. What's that going to do? We still don't have any closure.
Yeah.
My suggestion is to get people in here that know what's going on. Have someone that puts in septic systems and understands what needs to go on. I know a gal talked about
common sense, man. They got rules they have rules on the books already. Get good at enforcing the rules you have on the books, right? I don't care if you're a VRBO or if you're a long-term rental or an owner. If you're acting like an ass, I'm going to call the police. But that's
I'm
what it
just-
boils down to, is getting the police to actually respond, cite, and, it's up to somebody to go into court, right, and say, hey, I didn't do the wrong thing, and a judge says, okay, well, fine, whatever, we'll write this one off. But if I see you again, right, then we're not going to let it slide, right? But all the police have to do is cite the person.
Right.
We like, is it that hard to get somebody to actually do their job?
Right. And there are some valid points with some of the people talking about, instead of tracking it by the amount of, size of septic tank and amount of bedrooms, do it by water usage. Okay, I get that, man. But either way, you need to sit down and iron something out. All I've been hearing is the same old thing for the last year, and nobody does anything.
Yeah. Well, but then on top of it, man, the city going in and saying, hey, give me all this money, right?
Yeah, give me all this money.
Annually, give me all this money, right? It's a cash grab opportunity, man. What can we do with this?
So you kick the can down the street till October, and what's that going to do? Nothing. We haven't got anything resolved. We've been doing a whole lot of nothing. The mayor's out of office in January. He's a lame duck now. So
he's been a lame duck for the. He's been lame. I'm not gonna say he's been a lame duck, but he's been pretty lame, man. This whole time I've lived here, man.
You might as well just wait till a new mayor's in there and get the heavy lifting done, because nothing's being done. It starts at the top, Chris. There's lack of leadership. I'm not going to keep on going down this road because we already know where we stand.
And on top of it, man, you've got that one city council member who's like, well, these people that work for code enforcement and stuff, they're good people. You know what? The residents of Bella Vista are good people, Doug.
Right.
And you just tried to bend over people who are actually trying to improve, people who are investing in our community, right? Even if they're a short-term rental owner, they have some skin in the game. But you did what I expect all politicians to do. And it's like, how can I use this to put money in? Like, it's going into your personal bank account, right? You just finding a way to alienate a specific group and take advantage of them.
Right.
It's slimy, man.
Yeah, it is.
Versus actually just saying, how can we correct the concern? How can we address the concerns alone, right? Like, there's some concerns. We don't want, somebody talked about speeding up and down the streets, right? Speeding up down the streets. Bunch of unknown people. You can't really control who's coming over to your neighbor's house, right? So I get that. I understand that aspect of it. But is there some way that we can actually, I don't know, ensure that people are actually vetting?
So here's the thing. I'm not going to wait, and I don't want to hear in October we're going to start looking at it. I want a hard copy before we get to the meeting in October.
It should be shopped around for 6 months.
I don't
allowing for people to make edits and suggestions.
I don't want to. It's beyond that point. This has been going on forever. So get a handle on it, man.
But it's a hire consulting firm that doesn't even live here. He could have reached out to Bentonville. He could have reached out to Springdale, Fayetteville, right?
Yeah.
And said, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, right.
I think Fayetteville just implemented a short-term rental policy not too long ago, right? But on top of it, to expect people to be able to comply with this in 90 days, right? Yeah. The city can't do shit in 90 days on their own.
Right.
Come on, bro. It took them how many months to even get engaged with that fire?
Yeah.
Just monitoring it. Yeah, well, I don't know. It's private property, boss. Come on, man. It took more than 90 days for somebody to say, what kind of stinks over here? I really hate to live next to it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I hope we get a handle on this, because
you're getting me fired up.
People that are doing the short-term rentals now are frustrated. I know a few of them are looking at buying some more and expanding, and we talked about the other value of bringing in people. They're hiring carpenters. They're hiring people to clean. People
improving the property values, which actually directly impact the property values of homes nearby and stuff.
Right. So there's a snowball effect in that, and a positive thing. So we need to get a hammer on. Doug, I hope you're better. Hit the ground running next week. Let's get this thing rolling and get a hard.
Still got faith in you, buddy. Still got faith.
Yeah.
Little poquito, but I got faith, man. Gotta
Yeah, I'm
have
hoping
faith,
we can-
faith to faith. Gotta have faith.
I'm hoping we can get something, a hard copy of something, so we have a starting point. But
Yeah.
I don't want to wait till October, Chris, and go back in there and have this conversation.
Is it hard to put together a poll? I mean, the city puts together polls for bike tracks and race tracks
Listen.
and all the constantly, right? Put together a
will-
poll.
I will be more than happy to donate some of my time and my services to find the individuals that can hammer out some kind of legislation. Okay, I'm here. I know some people that can do stuff like this.
Any city council member can call me any day of the week, man, and like
there's-
ask me for my input.
And there's people in this community, Chris, that can do it yesterday. So you know what? Pay them a fee to hammer it out and come up with a plan. I got a list of 10 names off the top of my head. I could find people that can do this. So there's
There's
just
some
no excuse.
well-qualified people in Belleville. There's like that's one thing during major events, man. You have to bend and lean on the talent that's in your local area, right? We have a community of professionals that retired here, experience was at the wazoo, man.
Right.
And you
right.
tell me like you're gonna go to an out like first off, this directly impacts the people that live here in the community. You can't actually solicit information from the community in like small sessions, or hey, like if I'll email Jerry, I'll email
Right.
Councilman Flynn. I'll email. Well, half the time it's going to freaking junk mail anyway. If you email their official, at least mine is. But I'll email Jerry, or I'll call Jerry, or I'll call somebody, and I'll talk with them, right? And provide how I see it, right? Whatever they decide to do with that is on them. But at least I've spitballed it and thrown it out there to them. And they could do that with people who have legitimate concerns, or somebody they feel that thinks outside the box that they know in the community, right? But going to a consulting firm, it's like, well, I can take a month and a half, 2 months, 3 months, put something together, but you're going to pay
Why do you
me.
need a consulting firm? You got enough people here that know what to do and how to accomplish it. Pay them the consulting fee.
Well, it didn't even make him. My understanding is that the city attorney really had no input. Half of this stuff that they put in there is not enforceable or unconstitutional. On top of it, or alienating a specific. It's a blatant overreach, right? It's a blatant overreach.
Yeah, I mean, again, it starts at the top and it works its way down. When you don't have leadership, this is what you have.
Yeah.
This is
Sorry.
This is the result.
The big whiffer. We'll spend way too much time on this. We're at 8:39.
I know. I'm fired up about it, man. I just wanted to get it done. I mean, people turned out. They're ready to rock and roll. We're trying to, get this resolved.
Look, this is the big takeaway from it, right? Is I encourage everybody to show up to every city council meeting, at least just say, hey guys, I'm watching, right? Or air out your grievances about it. I mean, the city agenda is out there. I try to look at that just to say what's coming down the pike, and then I've got people in the community that reach out and say, have you seen this? Or if I read the newspaper, what's going on. But I try to stay informed on what's going on. But it's hard. It's really hard. But then when that hot button topic hit, then it's like, man, it's like stampede up there.
Right.
This
But
is probably
you know
the
what?
biggest city council meeting that they've had.
Yeah.
I want to say since Dollar General. Well, what they can Dollar General, but probably since Stump Dump times. It's probably one of the largest ones.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You know what? I want to thank everybody that came out on the 27th, Monday night. It made a difference. I mean, you made your voices heard, and I'm grateful for that. The week before, me and you, Chris, we were there. There were 7, and that was including us.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what you. I mean, that's what you got. So maybe
a total blow off too. Did you feel validated, Mark?
No, I didn't. But, well, let's on that note, let's take a break.
Let's take a break. We'll come back to some national news. I think what we'll do is we'll open up the phone lines.
We can do that. Yeah,
know.
we can do that, and
All
we
right,
can get
we'll
into
see.
our
We'll
other
see.
favorite topics.
Yeah. All right, buddy. We'll go ahead and go to a break. Be right back.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
I don't know what you've been told. This here is not your water. I see blood in the water. Run deep, it runs deep. Blood in the water. I see blood in the water. Try me, you see blood in the water.
And we are back from that short little break. We're going to go ahead and open up the phone lines, and we're going to talk about some national news and local. I think we still got some local stuff going on. Companies, electric vehicles, and
Oh yeah.
some stuff going on in California that's very reminiscent of Austria. I don't know.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I saw that, I was like, wow, just wow.
What the? I'm like, oh, stuff getting ready to kick off, buddy. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. That when I saw that, it just blew me away. So
I would be so. I mean, like, I would be livid, man. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I would
Yeah.
be. I'd be like, but you know what? We're all on some list somewhere that will ultimately be compromised or given out or whatever you want to call, right? We're
Yeah.
all a target based off of something. It just depends on the motives and the will of the group that wants to use that data for nefarious actions, right? I would say let's
Yeah.
outlaw data harvesting. Let's set a
Well, and-
moratorium on how long records can be, maintained. I think that would do something. I think I've mentioned that before too, Mark. That would do something for the environment too, because all this power consumption of running server farms to, basically keep a. I mean, like if you were born, I want to say if you were born in the 2000 era, right? You're 20 years old, 22 years old, right? If you were born in 2000. And I guarantee you there's probably a file of everything you've done on the internet that's linked to you personally.
Right. Yeah.
Since you were born.
Yeah.
Anytime your parents put out a picture on social media of you, like that's some scary stuff. They say the internet's forever, right?
Right. It's true.
But at what cost for the internet to be forever, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think we're in times where we need a digital constitution, something that protects people, the American people, right? Because America is America, land of the free, home of the brave, baby. We have the ability in our country to actually, amend our constitution, and that might need, first off, the Constitution was, written to protect us from tyrannical governments, right? But now we've got corporate tyranny,
Right.
Yeah. And so, are we in the age of like having a digital constitution, or a constitution that protects our digital footprint as well as our civil rights and our sovereignty as people created, with God-given rights?
I think people. It troubles me because I think the companies, corporations, and some people are testing the waters. They know it's unconstitutional, but nonetheless, they're pushing the envelope to see what they can get away with.
Well, they know numbnuts up in D.C. ain't going to do nothing too, right? I mean,
Right.
the lobbyists are the corporate lobbyists are what's running this country right now, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, this concealed carry information that was compromised for individuals out in California is just, it upsets me. I mean, it just blows me away. And you know what? the bottom line is this was done purposely. We know this is done purposely. So, what I came
for our viewers, right? Personal information of every California concealed carry permit holder was leaked. That's what we're talking about. I don't think we prefaced what we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
State Department of Justice data breach exposed key personnel information of every concealed carry weapons permit holder in California, officials said on Tuesday. The information included the name, address, age, criminal identification index, CCI number, and license type of every CCW permit holder in the state. The Fresno County Sheriff's Office said in a statement, the whole state. If you have a gun, right? Most people in California who own a gun and want to act, I mean, if you want to carry it, you got to have a CCW, right? CCWP.
Right.
So you followed the law, and the man just bent you over, man, because some criminal out there knows everybody who's got a gun or had a gun or had a permit, so that means there's a good chance they got a gun sitting in their home, even if they let their permit lapse, right? And so, I don't know, when you got hundreds of thousands of people crossing the border and stuff, that information may be quite valuable to people illegally crossing our borders, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, and then there's news stories about a 91-year-old person shooting somebody trying to enter their home and stuff. I mean, after this, right? It's like you just, by following the law, you made yourself a target of opportunity.
Yeah, you know what I want to see in the next year? I want to see home invasions. What's going to happen here? So I looked at this from two different perspectives. The first one, I looked at it from you're disclosing people that have firearms in their house. They have perfectly legal, have the right to it. But I also looked at it and said, hey, the criminal's going to sit there and look at this and look at what homes don't have guns.
Right. It says the breach transpired after the state launched its 2022 firearms dashboard portal. On Monday, the website was made to increase the transparency and information sharing for firearms-related data. The website was taken down following the breach. Yeah, some idiot in California, then their government said, we need to make this information readily available to law enforcement because of all the gun tragedies, right? And they stood up a website and just basically passed it out because they didn't follow any type of security or hardening of their site. It was like just so hard and ready to get it out there to make it available because the tragedies of guns jumping off of people's freaking couches and going and committing mass murder, right? No, must have the laziest guns in the world. I don't own no guns, by the way. I'm talking about Nerf guns. But what I'm saying is somebody really wanted, they had a bleeding heart, dire need to get all of these people's data on a website that wasn't even looked at, right? It said it found 244 judge permits in the databases. So 244 judges in California have concealed carry permits. Means they have guns in their homes, right?
I don't blame them. You know what I mean? But the fact that the attorney general's doing the
I think the state of California should be culpable for providing security for these people's homes. I really do.
Yeah. Well, they'll just come from the taxpayers. I mean, that's what they do.
They're paying people more money for, they let people poo in the streets in California, man. They pass out money left and right. So, sorry. What I'm saying is this is how it starts. Register on that list. Then some group of brown shirts comes in and raids your home because you're on that list. So, like I said, Auschwitz, or not Auschwitz, Austria, right? Same concept, right, man? They basically made everybody register weapons, and they de-armed them. And those people were running for the hills, man.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm in enough government databases, man. Not a bad dude.
This is ridiculous, man. I mean, do a dry run. Why did you have to release? I mean, it's just a horrible excuse. The person that did this, the people that are in charge of this should be prosecuted. I'm sorry. It's that.
What about it shall not be infringed, right? I mean, I have the right to not. Unless I'm committing a crime, Mark, is the only time the government needs to worry about me.
Yeah. These people that are out there illegally with firearms, they need help. Give me a call. I'll get you out of there. You got to get out of that state. I mean, it's just
That's
this
just
is
so
insane.
screwed up, man. I mean, like,
Yeah, I mean, it's just insane.
you basically
It's not
your state, by you following the law in your state and registering for a C, because California has some of the most asinine firearms laws, right?
right.
They made if you want to do this, if you want to carry a 6-shooter, a 6-shooter, a revolver, right? You gotta get a CCW permit. I mean, I think they have like reduced capacity clips or magazines out there, right? I mean, like for a handgun. And so you still had to go through this process and get, licensed by the state. And now the state's basically is just like sent you up the river, man. When the state, like that state's falling apart, bro.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
People
Yeah, there's no-
companies leaving that state in droves, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what they want. I mean, this is ridiculous. Again, if I was a concealed carry holder out there right now and they put me on blast like that, I'd be gone, man. I'd be gone. You can't do that. And to say it's an accident is a bunch of bull crap. That's a
Well, like
bunch
I
of
said, debris transpired after the state launched its 2022. This is recent firearms dashboard portal, right? Firearm dashboard, right? Who has a firearm? It's like a shot. It's like, is this eBay for criminals that you guys just launched with taxpayer dollars to put out at people's data out there? I mean, it's like, who's got a gun in your neighborhood? This address does. Well, crap, I might just go shopping for a gun, right? If
Holy
you're a
mackerel.
criminal, that's what you're using it for.
Hey, look at Bob down the street. He's got about 300 guns.
Bob, man, Bob. Bob's a baller, man. Bob's on vacation too. Let's go hit Bob's house.
I mean, it doesn't stop. It just gets. I mean, why wouldn't you go into test mode when you're going to do that? I don't have any.
Why wouldn't you put like John Doe has, like
They're
put
idiots.
100 dummy records out there, John Doe,
Right.
Jane Doe, and then
It's-
wait for the breaches to come in, right?
Yep.
Nah,
And they
just
did-
full sin, full sin, baby.
Because they did it on
It's like
purpose. They accomplished their
you
goal.
see them people that never rode like a dirt bike, man, and they're getting in, and they're like, nah, and then all of a sudden they get a little wonky and they get that whiskey throttle, and it's like full sin, right? That's what the state of California did with this website, just full sin with everybody's private information, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
and they don't even
bam.
care. We'll have the person, the attorney general, oversee it. Oh, this will be one of those things. It'll be an
Yeah,
accident.
the
happened.
attorney
Oh, well.
general, right? Yeah, the attorney. A lot of faith in them people.
Right,
saying.
right. I mean, nothing's going to get done here. I mean, it's just one.
I
thing
just think
after
we're hitting
another.
the apex of like just.
Idiocy. It's just idiocy, man.
It's like that movie Idiocracy, man. It really is. Like, I mean, like, I can remember having conversations with you a few years ago, right? It's like, we're getting to a point where we've got millennials that are like moving up into like these are the people that are making decisions in corporate and government levels now, right? And it's like we're starting to see the effects of like that shitty ass education, that participation trophy mentality, right? And so everything, like, I mean, like you look at the the amount of recalls that are happening, right? It's because there's no work ethic taught. And there's no common sense in that generation, but they're rising to. And this is just my opinion. I'm saying I know smart ass millennials. I know some smart, intelligent, but I'm saying the majority of that group, right, didn't have it. Like the work ethic's just not really there. They're living on a different playing field, right?
Yeah.
But now think if you're one of those people that actually has their shit together. People of your same age that are just like totally like, man, you should still be like, like in your 20s with that mentality, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. I mean, by the time you hit your mid 30s, you should be like, bang, 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 right? But no, we're not there. We're not there, right? And so we're seeing the effects of this.
Yeah.
Can we turn it around? I don't know. I'm really starting to think no. I have faith
I do too, man.
that
but
the
it-
younger
every-
generation, is going to excel real quick. I'm talking to 18, 19-year-olds who've grown up seeing some of the dysfunction.
Yeah.
They're starting to,
Oh.
they're rebelling against this whole crazy world we're living in, right?
Right.
And so
Yeah.
rebellion, there's what did they say? Was it hard times? Hard times create hard men. Hard men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. It's a cycle, right?
Right.
You know, and I know I'm not being misogynistic for those lady viewers out there, right? I'm just using the man terminology.
No, I
So
get
don't go.
Yeah.
Don't get your panties in a bun. I know women feel like they had their rights taken away this week and stuff. You know, nobody took away your rights. Okay, they just gave your rights back to the states. Now it's easier for you to approach a state politician and say this is why, right?
Right.
Just saying. So, but I'm using the man terminology, but because it's a cycle, right? And so you could use the same terminology like stupid people create problems. Smart people fix stupid people's problems. Once the problems are fixed, people start becoming stupid, and then it requires smart people to get smart and solve the problems again, right? And so it's a cycle. And I think what we're seeing is a cycle.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe like, I don't know. I'm really like struggling to find a time in history when people like were this. Well, I want to say sheeple, man. You know, it's like they're being programmed by mass media, social media, algorithms, the whole.
Yeah, hardcore indoctrination.
Yeah.
They don't know
Freaking
anything else.
scary.
They've just been blasted for
I'm
since they've
still
been.
waiting on Kim Jong to, you know, like blow up our internet grid or something like that.
There you
I
go.
mean, that would be like I'm at this point.
Well,
I'm
that's a
kind of
great.
looking at it like that. That's a blessing in disguise, bro. You know, like, can you
Speaking-
imagine the whole United States just going like 2 days without internet? It'd be crazy for like 2 days, but I mean,
It'd
like
be-
people would start realizing that
Lockdowns.
there's people out there.
Right. That's a great segue, by the way. Electrical grids. We'll just come rolling right into this
All
electrical
right.
vehicle presence. So
Rides in electric cars in Northwest.
yeah, I
Arkansas.
know. We talked about this before, and I know people are all high in electric cars and what have you. I looked at some data here. So there are 5.6 million people in this country that have electric vehicles, or i.e. hybrids. Okay.
Thanks for saving the planet, y'all.
5.6 million. Okay.
I
There's
got an EV,
200
by the way, now. You know that, right? I got a PEV.
There's 286 million people with vehicles, internal combustible engine vehicles. Okay. All right. That's 1.8 or 9% at the end of the day. Okay. It's not even enough to move the needle. It's just not a viable option yet. Let me look at some of this data here. The climate goals are for by 2030. It's 2022, Chris. Halfway through 2030 will be 100% electric vehicles. Okay.
But that's the goals of who?
This is the green.
No, hold on. Wait a
wave.
minute. Hold on. I got to ask this question, okay? Because global warming is what it's about, right?
Yeah.
And so if one country is pulling their weight and the rest of the countries are sitting there saying, like Red Foreman, right? I mean, like from that 70s, you dumbass, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about how
China-
many people aren't playing by the rules.
Yeah. Like China, they'll just do
China?
the opposite. Yeah, they'll just do the opposite. They don't care. They don't care. And we just keep on.
So
on
we
doing what
should
we're doing.
suffer. The American people should suffer for the sake of humanity.
It's
Right.
just isn't a viable option, man. These people are just
For the sake of humanity, the American people should suffer.
I'm not buying an electric vehicle, man. Average price of electric vehicle, okay?
50?
Yeah, there's some out there at 26,000. The average is 51,000. The average person does not make enough money to be even
The
get
average
electric
person
vehicle.
can't even afford housing.
And yeah, there's some low end ones, 26, 27. They're hybrids, but the
Fall
problem
apart.
is, yeah, it's just the availability of trying to get these things. The infrastructure. We already talked about the infrastructure, Chris. The power grid is failing, man.
My thing is, okay, look, man, there's so many 1960s, there's 1930s and 40s and 50s vehicles that people are restoring and bringing back, right? Like, can you tell me that anybody's going to bring back a Tesla? Like in 50 years from now, there might be like a handful of people like, well, yeah, I'm still driving my Tesla that I bought in 2022. Right?
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Freaking thing will probably catch on fire, man. I mean, those batteries have a finite life. Like they have a lifespan, and then like the batteries are hazardous material. And they're a major component. I mean, because it's like integrated. It's like a sled, right? I mean, like the battery is like the frame, the chassis, the whole 9 yards, right? So it's like, are you going to be able to, like, I mean, you'd have to engineer. I mean, it'd be the same thing that people are doing with the classics. But what I'm saying is that plastic that's built out of, it will be around.
I guarantee
it's going to degrade, man.
We're going to be talking about this in 2030, and we won't even be, it'll be done. It'll be a fad. It'll be gone. That's it.
No, everybody will be riding around and flying drones and stuff. Dude, where's my flying car style?
I mean, it's funny. You have rolling blackouts across the country. You can't even maintain heat and electricity in houses, and then you want to start running electrical vehicles. I mean, how stupid can we get? This is like an Al Gore special, man.
It's idiocracy. It's like, it's got electrolytes, though. It's got electrolytes, man. Why are you watering your car with acid battery, or why are you watering your garden with battery? Because it's got electrolytes, man. Well, that's why your shit's not growing, bro. You got to use water, right? But it doesn't have electrolytes. Like, what are you talking about, man? These are the but I mean, like, but it's green.
Everybody jumps on that. Yeah, they throw that green initiative out there. Yeah, and everybody jumps on it because they're all pigeon.
It's organic, or it's green, or it's environmentally friendly. Right? I mean, they don't even know what environmentally. You know what environmentally friendly means? Is not being a consumer, right? Right? Is fixing things before you Like, I can't tell you how much crap I fix until I'll fix it 2 or 3 times, man, before I'm like, okay, it's finally dead. My lawnmower, right? It's a repurposed lawnmower, $25, man. I've kept that thing running for 12 years. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think I could still fix it. Last time it tried to kill me, though. Okay, so I might buy another used lawnmower versus buying a brand new one, right? Might buy another used one, but like I'm still gonna give it the old college try, man. I'm gonna man. Look, I need a couple springs. I need some carb cleaner, and maybe it won't like over rev and try to throw a piston at me, man. I don't know, but if it does it again, right, then maybe I'll go buy a used lawnmower. Right?
Yeah,
but it's not like we live in a throwaway site. We're building throwaway cars.
Yeah.
That's not good for the environment.
It's like we had a Husqvarna push lawnmower. The flywheel ended up going on. The thing was all jacked up. Got the flywheel replaced, dude. Runs like a top, man. I had this weed whacker I got from a guy, and Quinn was messing around with it. And I'm like, Quinn, go see if you can fix it. He ordered these new gas lines. Apparently, there had some residual.
Well, it's the ethanol in those gas lines, man. It just deteriorates them and they leak all over the place. Man.
So he ended up pulling those out, and boom, he got it going. I said, buddy, this is like both these things are like 14 years old. You know what I mean? And they're still going, dude.
Well, and they don't build stuff. They don't build stuff that way, though. It's not user serviceable anymore. It's just it's a throwaway item. And then we sit there and talk about like the damage that we're doing to the environment and landfills and all this other crap and crap going into the landfills and then landfills catching on fire. It's like, but you know what? That Hoover vacuum that Grandma had, that she bought back in like 1963, is still freaking working like a boss, right? It's because quality people actually cared about, but they realized, and I'm talking about manufacturers and business, right? The corporate entities realize that if we can build something that only lasts for a year and a half, they will go out and buy another one. Those dumbasses, like that's how they look at us.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
and they expect you to not be able to fix it, and they just sit there and rack it up. But then they're going to tell you, you got to buy this new thing that's more environmentally friendly.
Yeah,
That's going to break in a year and a half too.
it's true. It's very true. Yeah, we live in a disposable society. We really do. It washers, dryers.
Friendships, marriages,
Yeah,
children, all
Unfortunately.
disposable.
right,
You know,
right.
throwaway society.
Well, so 2030, we'll have 100% electric vehicles up and down. 49.
No, I'll be that guy still. You know, I don't care.
Where are we gonna put all these charging stations? By the way, because we'll have over a few million people in Northwest Arkansas. You're just gonna line them up and down 49 and up here in 71, or what? North and south.
Yeah, why not? Let's go back over to here. But I just want to let everybody know, if you're watching or tuning in, we do have call-ins welcome right now. We're talking about national news, but if you got some input, feel free to call 479-202-4053. Also, want to put a plug out. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe our channel. Obviously, y'all doing fine. Our viewers don't need no free money, but make sure that you subscribe and leave a comment. Right.
Right.
We're gonna have to give away that $200 eventually, bro.
We will. Yeah. Someone might
Say
win
it,
it.
man. Somebody wants some money, right? I mean, no, they don't. They only if it comes from the government. Right? You know?
It's a lot of
Maybe
barbecue
you know what?
here,
Maybe
man.
we'll get some bootleg government cheese and just offer that, and just like, you guys want some government cheese? You remember getting that government cheese back in the day? I do. I had some government cheese back in the day. That stuff was good too, man. It wasn't like no craft, man. That stuff was like freaking real cheese.
Yeah,
big
it
old
was.
block, big old
Yeah.
block of that sucker. Well, we have
Yeah,
grilled
no.
cheese. What's for
I
dinner?
love
Grilled
grilled cheese,
cheese.
Every night, man.
Yeah, baby.
I love.
I
grilled
love
cheese.
grilled cheese, man, with some tomato soup. That's like,
Yeah.
oh. So
Yeah.
then you get like the ham, do a little grilled ham and cheese. Oh, that's
Yeah.
bomb, bro. Especially with
Yeah.
tomato soup.
So let's jump to another topic here. The Arkansas Department of Transportation, with all this inflation going on, here it comes, man.
All that inflation, but record profits.
Yeah.
We got to stop working on highway. What are you doing on that profits, man? Like, what are you, like, you guys got all this, like, you get, look, I don't know. An example would be asphalt. Last year when oil prices were down, contractors were paying just under $500 for a short ton. Now that price has ballooned to over $600. So $100 increase, and you guys got to stop working on roads. Are you
Shut everything
shitting
down,
me?
man.
You guys
Shut
have
it down.
billions. What was there? Like, they had like a 2.3, was it billion or million? What was their surplus? We were talking about that.
Yeah, it was, it was it was no, it wasn't in the millions. I
It
don't
was in the
remember.
millions. Okay, they had
Yeah.
millions of dollars. Okay, so you're pitching about $100 increase, right? Normally we spend $12 million in fuel costs for our entire fleet, and the fuel prices continue at the. Yeah, you know what? We're feeling those too, but now we're wrecking our freaking cars because of the potholes your asses ain't fixing with our tax money that you're sitting on. You know, quit frivolously spending money there, state of Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
Quit
brought in a
sending
lot of tax.
ASA, like quit having ASA fly in, people to sit there for the photo ops, right? ASA
We have
or
a
ASA,
surplus.
what's his name again? ASA, yeah. I don't know. I'm so ready for a new guy. I'm so ready for a new governor, a new mayor. And at this point, I'm ready for a new president. I really am. I mean, anybody got faith in these people anymore, man? I'm just like, what are you smoking, man? Like,
Can you
name one.
imagine
Can you name
2
one
more
good thing
years of
that,
this?
like?
Can you imagine 2 more years?
I don't think. Like I said, man. Shit. At this point, I'm hoping we make it a 246. I really am, man. I just. The state of Arkansas, was bragging about their record profits, like their record surplus of money that they've have in their coffers, right? And we know there's an influx of money.
Right.
Bitching about inflate. Oh, now that maybe this is a good thing. Maybe states are now starting to see the effects of inflation. American people have been feeling the effects of inflation for a while now, right?
Oh yeah.
About a year.
There's no doubt.
At least a
Yeah.
year, right? So maybe if the states and the state agencies are starting to feel the prices, maybe that's a game changer. Maybe that's it. I don't know though, because they're still like. Here's the thing: is the state of Arkansas laying off people since they're having to lay off projects? Doubt it. Doubt it. They're paying people to sit around and do nothing. Right?
Yeah. You'd think if you're going to consolidate and reduce the workload that you'd have to reduce the employee base, but that's not the case.
What happened to Build Back Better, Joe? Right? What happened? What happened to Build Back Better? For real? I'm asking a legit question. We got to tear it all down first, though, right? I mean, that's what it's like. You're like that little kid in preschool. I built a tower with building blocks. And you come back and you smack that sucker over and just knock it down. And it's like, we're going to build it back better. Asshole, you didn't have to knock it down.
I just think the shell game's over. People are wise to it. They're done, man. People are done. I mean, they're done with it. Even the government realizes the scam's up. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's just
we were paying $500 for a ton. Now we're paying over $600. That's not even anything compared to my life. Bitch, I was paying $10 for a T-bone. I'm paying $30 for a freaking same T-bone.
It's only up 8%, Chris. I mean, it's no big deal. It's not. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
We did good on fireworks, though. I was worried about fireworks, man. Yeah. I wasn't worried, but I was a little worried. I was like, fireworks going to kill me this year. Right?
Get some short fuses from China, man.
Probably. I didn't look at the fuses because, they always put that silver tape over them, right?
Yeah.
But we did pretty good. And, so we're only a third into the fireworks budget, but we went and bought some fireworks. What are you doing on 4th? Are you coming over to the house for 4th of July?
I don't know what's going on. I haven't talked to the family yet. Maybe I'll come over, have a few beers, and we have some
sit out front, let the kids blow up some stuff, and
if
the policeman shows up, we'll be like, bitch, get out of here till you return my call from a month and a half ago. So, oh, you finally here to talk to me about that crime in progress I witnessed? Okay, yeah. Well, we can talk about that on another day. We're kind of a little lit up over here, so sorry. Get the blowing shit up, though.
Oh, man.
That'd be a good time.
What do you
Come on over.
I got a few more topics to get into. You want to take a quick break and we'll jump back on a few things and
yes, sir. We can do that.
All right.
We'll be right back after this word from my non-sponsor, The Nasty Crew. Be right back.
I don't know what you've been told, but this here is not your home. You want some trouble? You want some? Come on in and I'll take hold. These hands will break your bones. You want some trouble? When I see you,
We are back from that short break from my non-sponsor, the Nasty Crew, Nasty's Flow Shop. Rob actually did a radio interview or promo. We're going to be putting something together with the audio from that, and that may be our new, I don't know, break session, since I want to see these people succeed, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's nice to see you, man, to do something like that, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, like, I really, like,
It works for them, you know?
I'm trying to be a resource for some, one, a veteran. It's a veteran-owned business. It brings a lot of joy to people, helps people. I mean, like, dude, we rode out to, we did that, I call it the old fogey float night. We rode around Bentonville last night, and we went from up there on top of the hill by Slaughter Pen.
Oh, yeah, okay. No,
All the way through, through downtown Bentonville, and then over past the library, the Momentary, back over to the splash pad, through Compton Gardens, down by
Would you go with Troy?
Bridges. Yeah,
Go with Troy?
Yeah, Troy and I. And then, like, shot back up to the Red Barn at those apartments, and we ran into Rob, who was doing some Strava sections and stuff, and talked for a few minutes, and then rode back, and I hopped in the car. Man, I'm sleeping so good nowadays, man.
Yeah.
It's like
nice to
just
get out
getting
and
out,
clear your head, man.
dude. I'm just getting out, clearing my head, getting a little bit of exercise. I mean, because it's a back, hip, lower body workout. I mean, like ankles. I mean, and then obviously you're sitting there concentrating on not busting your butt. I mean, so you don't really like have a lot of opportunity for your mind to sit there and dwell on things or stress about things. So
right,
it's I don't know. I love it. I love it, man.
Awesome.
And I really hope that other people would take the opportunity to like look into this. I mean, it doesn't matter your age. I mean, obviously, if you never did boarding sports and you're like, I'm 90 years old and I'm getting on a one wheel, well,
yeah,
you may want to invest in some additional pads, man, because hips ain't cheap.
Right.
What they say, Shakira said it best: hips don't lie, especially when you fall on them. Well, we're gonna get into. I do want to do a public service announcement before we go into the next little segment. The Bella Vista Police Department wants to help ensure our residents and visitors arrive home safely, and they'll be participating in a nationwide DWI mobilization starting on June 29th. That was earlier this week. They're going to be setting up increased enforcement and be on the lookout for drunk drivers. And I believe that they posted that they're going to be doing some checkpoints over this weekend, which is
so. I thought they were unconstitutional, but I guess they are constitutional.
I would say this, right, is if I pull up to a checkpoint and you ask me where I'm coming from, none you. Right? I mean, like, at best, you're looking for my license and insurance and registration. Right? I'm not... that's my personal view, right? As well is that's a form of infringing on my constitutional rights to travel freely, right? If I'm suspected of committing a crime, right, then cool beans, pull me over, right? Or an infraction, right? A traffic moving violation or whatever, right? These things, like, you pull in and like, okay, if you're going to be that guy that cuts a Yui at a Dewey checkpoint,
right?
Guarantee you there's somebody up there who's going to come up and pull your ass over,
light you
right?
up, man. Yeah.
You're going to light you up, right? But, like, so I'm like, are these constitutional? But I think some states have ruled that they are. Like, they're not. It's a gray area, right? It's a safety checkpoint. But what I'm going to say is a safety checkpoint only means you have to just show that you have your license, registration, and insurance. Do you have to engage with the police officer in dialogue about where you're coming from, where you're going?
Yeah.
None of you. It's none of your business, man.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, I mean, you're just randomly.
What have I done?
Over, and it's just, I don't know. I mean, obviously, like you said, taillight out, drive speeding, and there's some other kind of infraction going on, then yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But just to randomly pull people coming down a road one after another is ridiculous to me. I mean, it's just
I haven't seen one of those in a while, but it'd be interesting to like go through one of those again, man.
yeah.
It's like I don't. Yeah, I'm not driving. Well, one, I wasn't driving, but two, it's like this is some bullshit, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, drunk driving is serious. and I'm
drunk
not trying
driving
to
is
drive
serious, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
if you're a passenger, if I call somebody to pick me up and drive me home, which I do, right,
Right.
or get an Uber, and they happen to go through one of them checkpoints, it's like, do you see how like that's just like I could have been home
Slippery
20.
slope, man.
I could have been home 20 minutes ago. Show me the papers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Where are you coming from? Where are you going? You know, like, no. None you damn business. What, you trying to date me? What you trying to hook me up? You trying to be my best friend? You want my Instagram too? You know, I mean,
They're gonna be singing you a lullaby.
come here, sir. You want you kiss my ass? How about that? You know? I'm not being disrespectful to police either, man. Police should know that this shit's unconstitutional.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know what I gotta look that up and get more detail about that because I believe it
They're
is
saving lives,
unconstitutional.
man. Saving lives.
Oh man.
Meanwhile,
All
all the resources are down there at the checkpoint, and
yeah. Okay.
somebody's getting robbed.
Yeah. Right.
Whatevs, man. I don't know. Clown world. Let's go into that next thing, though. It was NBC. Democrats. Oh, I'm not even showing it. I guess we're going to shut down the phone. Ain't nobody calling. Ain't nobody watching this shit anyway.
It's a holiday weekend. People are getting.
Holiday. Everybody out there getting their drink on. Just I hope that
I
they
don't blame them.
they do it safely and smartly and,
Yeah.
and all with love for America.
Amen.
So we'll go over here to WebShare. Democrats run Washington, but the Supreme Court delivers big wins for the GOP. This is the weekend review of what the GOP. Well, I just want to say, I mean, like, why is it about the GOP? What about the American people?
I
What
know.
about the
I don't really
independent,
care about-
constitutional, loving American
Yeah.
people?
I mean, the way the parties are now, like you said, how many rhinos are out there right now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so ridiculous. Think of both these parties.
Well, there's dinos and rhinos, man. You know,
Right.
like there's Democrats and rhinos. You know
term limits and new fresh faces, man, and let's move forward. You know, the same old dog and pony show of these people. You know, you're right. The focus should be on American people, not these
It
morons.
should. In a recent series of rulings, the Supreme Court eliminated the constitutional right to abortion by overturning Roe v. Wade, expanded the Second Amendment scope by finding a right to carry guns outside of the home. They curbed the Environmental Protection Agency's regulatory power to combat climate change and enhanced religious rights by validating taxpayer money for religious schooling. String of conservative victories provides a stark contrast to Democrats' struggles to pass major legislation or use executive power to achieve their aims. What I'm saying is they may be in charge, brother. But the Supreme Court is starting to find, and everybody's like, "Well, that one Supreme Court justice down, I know that I can't even pronounce her name, Katanja,
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
that new Supreme Court justice, right? They're like, oh, well, this is a game changer. No, she's replacing a liberal judge. No, don't get your panties in a bunch, okay? It's a replacement. It's a direct replacement. But what I'll say is that this is a nation of law and order. And to see so many politicians sit there and say, well, the Supreme Court's waging war on the American people, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, they've done that. Like what they've done multiple times in history.
Right.
You know?
To even be on the Supreme Court is just, I mean, every
It's a
judge.
lifetime appointment, man.
Right. I mean, that's like the holy grail for a judge, right? I mean, it is because it's important. It's extremely important, and you can't let your own viewpoints get in the way of looking at cases like this. And I know, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean,
You have to be objective. You
Right.
have to have a firm understanding of the Constitution and the way and the time and the language it was written in. You know, everybody's like, "Oh, well regulated, right? Well regulated." For anybody that's watching this,
right.
well regulated militia being necessary to a free
Right.
state, shall the right of the people to keep
Yeah,
and
it was
bear
such a
arms.
respected.
Well
it-
regulated mean a properly functioning militia is necessary to the freedoms of the state.
Right.
Does it mean anything? Like, these people come up with the National Guard shit, I just want to smack the shit out of them. I really do. It's like, what? Because we have you know what? England had a military too. Right? So one could argue that we should have never rebelled against England because we had a well-regulated militia in our colonies, right?
Right.
Here we are, 245 years later.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, America!
Yeah.
Because
You know?
some rebellion, right? Some rebellion
Yeah.
happened, right? Because they knew what a tyrannical government was. Can we actually define what, properly functioning government is? I think that would be more beneficial dialogue.
Yeah.
Is this representative government? Or is this
Yeah.
people that are living up in DC profiting off of us? They look at us like cattle. Case in point. How our local legislators look at it like cash grab, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't
And
think
there's
they're
some
doing that
good.
up in DC, bro?
Yeah, I know. Judge Thomas is a perfect example of a guy that follows the rule of law and follows the Constitution, but they constantly bash him, but they let their emotions get involved with him. He's a professional. He's
Right.
just, everybody is human, man, but it's the attacking of people. It just amazes me that this continues to happen over and over,
Well, I always said, like, I don't have to like it. I don't have to like it, but I have to do it, right?
Right.
Like, it's not it's in my line of work, in the military, you get orders that you may not agree with, right? As long as they're lawful orders, you may have to do those. And that's called being professional, right? Understanding
Right.
that this isn't about you. This is a sacrifice you make whenever you join the military, or when you go into government service, or whenever you work for a corporation that, maybe doesn't personally align with you, right? Or you're doing contract work, or, consulting, right? Some things you just have to say, I'm going to take my personal opinion and I'm going to compartmentalize that this is a
Right.
professional decision right here, right?
Yep.
But the problem comes whenever you start looking at your professional decision as your moral compass, right?
Yep.
There are things that I will just straight up walk away from. But no. Oh, you're going to tell me to do that? Yeah, I'm take a leave of absence, bitch. How about
Right.
that? I'm not doing it, right?
Right.
And I'm well within my rights to take a leave of absence.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the skewing of the moral compass. I think that's where we're like people feel like, can we not be real for
Well, people forget
these
the
people?
justices.
It was like when we were talking about Peter Christie, let's go into, you should be a senator. You should be a state. Who is pumping your head up, bro? I mean, these people should surround themselves with really grounded people and say, Dad, you look like an ass right now because you're mumbling and jumbling on freaking TV and you're the president of the United States. Get your shit together or fucking walk away, right? Pardon my French. I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about this crap, though. It's like they can't get out of their own way, though.
No.
It's ego. It's ego, or it's not
Well,
being self-aware.
I call them professional politicians. Biden, what's he on? 47, 48 years. Chucky Schumer, 40 something years. You know, the Cuomo sisters, they've been.
Oh,
around
it's
forever. I don't even know them now.
Donald Trump held an erection on January 6th, Schumer.
Yeah.
Oh,
That wing nut out in California, what's his name there? He's been around forever. I mean, you need new, fresh people and blood in there.
you
and
have to
someone that has
ask
their head
yourself
on
how
straight.
somebody can do 40 years as a politician and make millions of dollars,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When your average
Because they're not doing the
employee's
work
not
of the
doing
people,
that.
man.
No,
not
they're
doing the work of the
they're
people.
snakes, man. It's the
Right.
biggest.
Right.
And then you got the IRS, you know, like sitting here spending money on ammunition, and it's like, well, it's starting to sound like a mafia, bro. I mean, like you got, look, you're going to pay Jackie. You're paying Jackie. Don't make me come back here, or you're paying Jackie, right? Well, you know who's coming back? IRS.
Right.
That's Jackie. You're gonna pay Jackie. Like, and I don't see what the hell does the IRS need $728 million worth of ammunition? Right? Don't we got a military? What do a bunch of calculated, pocket protector nerds need freaking that much ammo for, man? Is that brown shirt shit? I'm just saying, man. It's like they're slipping in, they're putting in costs somewhere. I don't think they're getting ammunition. I think this is just fraud.
Yeah.
I think it's fraud, man.
Could be.
And
Who knows?
it's riddled. It's fraud, waste, and abuse is really what it boils down to. You cannot tell me the IRS is not a. They can't come and arrest you.
Right.
I mean, like, can they? Can they? I don't know. Can I? If anybody knows, tell me if the IRS can come and arrest me, or if they have to have somebody arrest me. I would think it would be the FBI or local law enforcement, but I don't think that
tax evasion and stuff that would probably fall into the FBI.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, why does the IRS need ammunition?
Yeah. Yeah. It's troubling, and
that's a little weird. Just saying.
So the other topic,
the shit that Obama pulled. I'm sorry. Hey, happy birthday, America! I am, partaking in Freedom Pepsis, Freedom Pepsi night. But wait, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally understand, man. It's frustrating, and we're not alone. There's tons of people out there just fed up with the nonsense and the spend. But I want to hit on one more thing before we wrap up the night. Was the big oil people talking about the climate change and how the big oil companies should pay for it and
yeah, bro.
that one
I
just
forgot about this one is like clown world. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's pull this one up. Wow, what a crazy world we live in. Should big oil pay for climate change damage? Some cities and states say yes. I don't even know if I really want to read this, man. It's insanity. Okay,
this is
every city and state has profited. Humanity has progressed into this awesome world where we're driving electric vehicles now.
Yeah,
right. We're shooting men into the ether of space because of oil.
Yeah.
Your house is being run. Your car is being run.
Yeah.
Everything you own possibly was either made or manufactured or contains a byproduct of oil. You freaking hypocrites.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. You hit the nail right on the head. But here's the thing that troubles me. These people don't understand. All this is going to do is just put it all back in the cost of goods. We're going to pay. It's a shell game. Here's $10 here. It's going over here. It's
We're getting oil reparations now, man. I mean, like, I just want to let all of our people who are getting triggered know, y'all are on my damn land. All right, I'm a Native American. You can see your ass off my continent. How about that? All right. I'm just gonna say before somebody gets triggered, it starts calling me out. All right, I'm just saying.
Sorry, buddy. I immigrated from the Eastern Europe, so I can't help you.
I mean, we really want to talk about it, right? You know, I mean, you know what I'm saying, bro? You know, I mean, like somebody gonna
Yeah.
get triggered, like little panties in a bunch. I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
you shouldn't even be here, bro.
I just find that people think there's like an unlimited amount of money, like an ATM that just starts spitting out money for everything. I mean, it all rolls up in the cost of goods. It's like this food inflation. It's the same deal, man. You know, I mean, it just goes on and on. Like you said, and you brought up valid points, record profits for all of these companies, just squashing the middle class, just
Crushing it, man. That's
and
what they
everybody
want to
just
do.
keeps on ignoring it like it doesn't happen. Well, we're watching you. I mean, it's just like the
Well,
same.
and then you see the amount of mental breakdowns that are happening on the daily now, right? I mean, people are hitting that threshold. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I can remember, you know, during that whole proposed 2 weeks to flatten the curve, right? And Donald Trump was, I'm sorry, some people might get triggered when they hear that name, but he's like, the solution cannot be worse than the problem, right? He
Right.
said that. I think he said something to those like we have to be careful, right? Because like 2 weeks wasn't 2 weeks, man. It ended up being like a damn year. I mean, people just took that power and just ran with it,
Right.
and I don't think that power has ever actually been returned to the people either. I think almost every state still has some type of emergency powers in
Well,
effect.
and those discussions we've had before is once you give away those rights, it's next to impossible to get them back. It's
Yeah,
people are
power
like, "Oh,
given
that's
is power
a big deal."
very seldomly returned, right?
Right. It's a
I would like to
slippery
see
slope.
these new politicians that get voted in for governor and all that just to restore the power to the people. I mean, that's
Right.
basically what
Right.
Donald Trump tried to do, and then you saw the swamp just freaking shit the
Yeah.
bed, man. I mean, like they just
Yeah.
went. I mean,
They're
like
in postal.
what was that? What was that movie back in the day with that? Oh, was it Carrie Fisher? I think, or I don't know, Carrie Fisher. The original Exorcist. Remember that movie?
Oh
That
yeah.
movie
yeah.
gave me nightmares, man.
That was a
When
great
I was-
movie.
When I
man.
watched
That's
that,
one of the
I was
best
probably
horror movies of all
15,
time.
maybe 14 or 15 when I watched that for the first time.
Yeah.
But
Dude, that
remember-
came on
Maybe she was like,
72 or something like that.
You know, she's like laying
Yeah.
in, you know, tied up in the bed, and then
Spinning
like,
around.
and then the head spins around. But I mean, like that's what DC turned into whenever he like
Yeah.
basically gave power back. He wanted to make this a representative government again,
Right.
and you saw the outlash of that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, turning the power back into the states, I mean, it has to be done.
The
I
Supreme
mean,
Court
you know,
is the way to do it, though.
Right.
They're doing. I think they're doing the right thing. I think they're still carrying on that kind of like there's a wake up moment, and I think that the Supreme Court has woken up and realized there's a lot of unconstitutional laws
Yeah.
happening from the federal level,
Well,
and it was never
people-
intended to be that way.
No, and and the smart ones understand it. These justices understand they're on there to protect the Constitution, but unfortunately, people think that they should be swaying their opinion, or you know what I mean. They're putting out factual information, and they're not just saying, "Okay, I'm going to lean this way." They write up their summary and explain to exactly what their positions are, and all these other people get so triggered. Well, why do you do that? I can't believe I hate his guts. I can't. We're going to go protest in front of his house. We're going to do. I mean, it's just nuts, man.
So that goes back to enforcement and accountability, right? It's already illegal, like for somebody in the White House, staffer or press secretary or whatever, to say they encourage people to go and protest outside of judges' houses should actually be charged with, I don't know.
I'll be trespassing. First off, everybody.
Well, no,
else.
they should be charged with, I don't know, possibly insurrection, right? I mean, you're calling for a prohibited, like, it's illegal to do that. And you're actually saying you're endorsing that. And then you got congressmen and senators actually, like,
Yeah.
saying, get out there and do it. You're encouraging people to break the law, you dumbass.
But
Right?
you have these mayors, you have governors telling them to do this stuff. I mean, you're telling people to do this stuff. Not only that, you put his family at risk. You put the people in the neighborhood at risk. I mean, any number of things. There's a lot of wingnuts out there, man. Any number of things could have happened. So, Well,
I just say it's never a good day. It's never a good day. You show up to somebody's house looking for trouble. You may find it.
Right.
Period. Right.
Well, I mean, this
You may
started
find
off,
it.
hey, I mean, this started off with people saying, hey, you see these people in restaurants, confront them, call them out. I mean, it's just so unprofessional.
How do we get to the point where we're just so divided to where like it's so tribal at this point? That's what scares me, because I believe that like your political ideology. I mean, honestly, Mark, I think you're kind of like a independent progressive.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way, right? I mean, I don't see any harm with, two people of same sex, doing their thing. Or you're an adult and you want to go and get plastic surgery or do whatever. That's you, right?
Right.
I mean, like, I'm kind of a live and let die.
Yeah.
Or live and let live, live and let die, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
you live, you die, I live, I die, right? I'm just like, I'm not, I got enough shit going on in my life, man, to worry about what somebody else is doing, right?
I know.
But like, you got like these groups of people that just want to like enact. I mean, that's fascism right there. You want to tell people how to think, how to live. You're wrong. Shame them. And I'm like, that's Marxist. It reminds me of the days of Mao, right? I mean, it's like we're public shaming us, and it's like this is like I get it. You're passionate about that thing, but like, dude, I saw this post of like these women basically calling for sex bans over the Roe v. Wade thing, right? And I'm like, I don't know. Several of them were lesbians,
right?
And I'm like, you can't even get pregnant. If you truly live in your lifestyle, you can't even get pregnant. So why are you up in arms about it? Well, because, it's in those rare instances where there's incest, and I think there is a medical option, right?
Totally
I think
agree.
there's a medical option, right?
Rape or incest.
Rape, incest, there's a medical option. But like, so all these people have gone tribal, like they're labeling Christians or conservatives. It's like, are we getting to the point where it's become so tribal and people have lost reality of like, I don't care about who you voted for, man.
Yeah, I don't.
Are you a good person? Do you have a good heart?
Yeah.
If I fell down and broke my leg, would you pick me up, regardless of my views, and carry me out of the woods and give me medical attention?
Absolutely.
Would you do that? Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's how we should look at each other. But everybody's so keyed up because of social media and mainstream.
Yeah.
I really welcome the day that we have those blackouts and nobody got internet for a few weeks.
I think people got a detox. I think the other thing, Chris, is we lived in a different time where you had the social media kind of came in. We've seen life without social media, and man, it was awesome. Not that I don't enjoy the technology and what have you, but it was just a different time. Yeah. And it's just, I mean,
if you're a young adult though right now, I mean, the last 2 years, two and a half years,
it's horrible. It's horrible.
I mean, like I feel for them. I feel for them. People are very. This is their outlet. This is it. I mean, like, I don't give a crap about COVID or not, man. Like, I mean, I really didn't. I didn't give a crap about it the whole 9 yards. I mean, if I get it, I get it. I'll deal with it.
Right.
But living a life of fear or worrying about stuff.
Yeah.
But you've got a whole generation of kids that are just scared.
Well,
they're
tell
scared,
me
man. They're scared. They've been
scarred. They've been
scarred to the point where like they can't even go out and live their lives without fear.
Right. Yeah, you can drink out of that hose.
Man, look, you won't fall down. I'm trying to tell my son this, because I'm trying to get him to like get on the one wheel too. It's like, you're gonna fall down, you're gonna get hurt,
right?
But it's part of the process.
Yeah.
You have to fall down. You have to get kicked off that horse. You have to wreck a motorcycle. You have to
That's how you
drop
learn.
it. The only way that you can become great is by failing a lot.
Yeah. There's no
Right.
doubt. It's dead on. Yeah.
And through that failure, you start honing in. Like, what? If you have critical thinking skills, right? Why did this happen? How can I have prevented this? And how can I ensure that this doesn't happen again?
Right.
Learning
Yeah.
from failure.
Right. Yeah. Dead on.
Everybody's
There's no
afraid
doubt
to
about it.
fail, man. Everybody's so
Yeah.
afraid of failure.
Well, afraid to fail and not taking ownership for screwing up. I mean, I see it all the time. I mean, if I could tell anybody now, young kids now, listen, if you screw up, just own it, man, and make it right. It is what it is.
Dude, if
We
I
all
screwed
make
up in
errors.
an argument, somebody's like, who did fill up the generator? Yeah, man, I filled up the wrong damn generator, but their shit's still running, right? You know, but well, damn it, well, it was unclear which generator I needed to fill up.
I
Yeah.
do that all the time. If I jack something up, even the kids says that, you know what, I messed up on this. That's fine. Okay, let's work together to get it fixed. It's always like, oh, I don't know anything about it. I didn't do it. And you know
And that's
they
how
did
it boiled
Yeah.
down to too, man. When that generator freaking ran out of diesel, man, we were out there bleeding freaking injectors, man, getting the air out of the lines.
Yeah.
I can get it running in about 5 minutes, okay?
Right.
You know,
Right.
give me a minute though. You know, like
Yeah.
let me do what I can do, right?
Yeah.
But own it. That way,
Yeah.
everybody at that point, everybody goes, okay. Now we're not looking who to blame.
Right. Let's
Focus
fix
on
it.
the fix.
Right.
right.
Let's seek resolution and move forward.
Exactly.
And I see it all the time,
I
man.
don't know,
It upsets me. And I tell you, young parents now, man, just have your kids, you know, make them understand. You make a mistake. Hey, it's not the end of the world, man. Own it.
It's not.
Just own it and fix the problem.
Obviously,
Work
it's
with them.
not. I mean, you look at the amount of people that have come from bad situations and become very successful.
Right.
know. That being
Yeah.
said, happy birthday, America.
Yeah, this was a great show tonight, Chris. We're gonna get those fireworks out, brother, and get that beer. It's ice cold right now.
I'll do some ribs. How about that?
Ooh,
Want
back
some
ribs. Some back ribs.
I got some ribs in the freezer. I'm gonna start thawing them out, man.
Ooh.
We'll get some ribs going up on the smoker.
Dry rub. Oh man.
Yeah, buddy. I got that
Oh,
meat
yeah.
church stuff too, man. I bought.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw you
Yeah,
posted that.
buddy. Their stuff's good. I made some fajitas tonight, though, man. I gotta figure out the happy medium on the fajita season.
Yeah,
A little salty.
yeah.
I think they supplement a little bit of salt in their stuff. So, but you know, yeah, we'll do a pork ribs, baby back ribs, some caronis,
There you
and
go. man.
some boom booms. You bring Quinn
Yeah.
over, and him and Gunner can just set the sky on fire, buddy.
Yeah.
know.
Sounds like a plan, man.
All right, man. Well, I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend. Remember, the reason for the season is freedoms. And we hope to see you back here. You know, obviously, we didn't have too many viewers tonight. Everybody's on vacation or celebrating freedoms.
Yeah,
But
which is
I
good.
will say this. I hope everybody has a happy, healthy, and humble 4th of July weekend. Make sure you realize that the reason for the season is freedom. And took a lot of people, man, to give us 245 years of freedom. And a lot of people are still sacrificing their lives for that freedom. And regardless of your political views, we still live in the greatest nation in this world. So,
Amen. Hey, everybody have a happy 4th of July. And I enjoyed it, Chris.
and make sure you make it to the Patriot Parade on Monday at 9 o'clock at Allen's, Sugar
Allen's
Creek Plaza.
Plaza.
Mark's going to be in the parade, and I might be
Yeah.
farting around on the one wheel out there, man.
I'll have
So-
some candy, man.
Candy? Oh, well, you got me sold. I'm showing up. He's got candy. Till then, we'll catch you next week. Take care, y'all.
All right, man. Take care. Bye.
I'm not afraid to take a stand, take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand, come take my hand. We'll walk this road together.